Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be my first eyeshadow palette review of 2021 and it is the first in a long time. I haven't actually reviewed an eyeshadow palette since November. It just feels so far away at this point. Today we are going to be talking about the Colourpop Wine and Only palette. As soon as this palette was announced, I really wanted it, and then I decided to be responsible and to wait, so I only ordered it on Boxing Day. But we have it now. I received it 2 days ago on Saturday and I filmed this very dramatic look with it. So we're going to jump into the review, and you guys know the drill at this point. We're going to do it in my usual format. We're going to start off with just all of the details of the palette, follow it up with some swatches, then we'll do the tutorial, and then I will give you my final first impressions on the palette. So this is the Wine and Only palette from Colourpop. I believe it came out in December. I don't think it's been out for any longer than that. This is part of their monochromatic 9-pan eyeshadow palette, and of course by the title you can tell we've gone for a very wine burgundy theme, a very regal, very pretty. I just felt like it was one of those palettes that was actually going to add something to my collection that doesn't really need any adding to at this point, but that is beside the point. The palette comes as always in a cardboard box. The design on the box is so pretty. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm kind of tempted to keep it. Normally I don't keep the boxes. When it comes to Colourpop, they have the same information on the boxes as they do on the palettes. So if you don't want to keep the cardboard packaging, there's no reason, like ingredient lists or anything, to keep that. On the front we have the name, the pretty design. We also have the total weight, which is 9 grams in total, so we're getting 1 gram per shadow. We do have a printing error, I think, on here, because it says 9 ounces and then 0.3 ounces next to it, which really confused me. If we look at the back of the palette, it says 9 grams or 0.3 ounces, so that seems to make a lot more sense. The palette retails for $12, which as of today's exchange rate is £8.88. That's such a satisfying number, isn't it? One thing to bear in mind with Colourpop is that their prices do not include taxes, unlike in the UK where we have VAT included. So do bear that in mind when comparing the price to other palettes that are sold here in the UK. I get the prices in US dollars off the website. It just makes things a lot easier, but just do bear in mind that technically they're worth a little bit more because we then pay the taxes at the checkout, and then obviously there's the shipping on top to get them over to the UK, but that's a different topic. This particular palette does actually work out to be the most affordable Colourpop palette that I own because it isn't a collaboration, and it also has a little bit more product than the Blowing Smoke. So currently with the exchange rate we're looking at 99p per gram, which is of course very affordable. Anything that's under £1 per gram is what I would consider to be a pretty good deal. In terms of further information on the box, there is a note that this is cruelty free. There's nothing on here to say that it is vegan, so I'm assuming it is not. We also have the diagram of these shadows on here, and 5 out of the 9 shades do have an asterisk saying that they are not safe for use on the eye. I know that people have gotten annoyed in the past at Colourpop because they include glitters in palettes that are marked as not eye safe. This palette does not have any pressed glitters, so I'm assuming that the shades that are considered not to be eye safe in here are actually pressed pigments. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. I do actually really like the mirror that comes in Colourpop palettes. Sometimes I think they're a bit of a waste, especially like in really small palettes. I'm like, why is this here? Like, this is just a waste. I'm never going to use this. I do think it's actually a really good size. Like, if you can see your whole face in it, then it's actually useful. And then of course we have the shades, and they are very pretty. As I said, I placed my order on Boxing Day. They had 25% off everything on the website, I think it was, so the palette actually came in at $9 for me, and then I also used an affiliate code on top. Wait a minute. Hi! What you doing? You gonna come in and see me? Someone doesn't want me to film. Oh my god, you look so grumpy. Can you look a little bit happier, please? Okay, alright, I'll let you down. Okay, I forgot where I was at completely. But yeah, so I used an influencer code on top. That brought the price down further. And then it took a little bit of time to ship out, and I received it on Saturday the 9th. It's the Christmas period, so, you know, waiting for parcels at this time of year, absolutely fine with it. So that wraps up all of the details of the palette, so let's jump into the swatches. I set an alarm for the end of an eBay auction that I didn't want to miss, and I was meant to set it to like 5 minutes before. Guess who set it for the exact time that the auction was finishing? Genius. The first shade in the palette is Blanc. Then the next one is Sip Sip. This is a matte that's got some glitter in it. And then we have Major Chianti. They're our first 3 shades, so we have some slightly different textures in there. Let's move on to the next row. So next up we have another metallic, which is Caster Chateau. Then we have Play to Wine. And then we have Mull It Over. I think this one might be my favourite row out of the three. It's very, very, very pretty. You could do a look with these three alone and it would be stunning. Okay, finally we have Vinter, which is more purpley. Then we have Mon Chéri. This is the only one that I haven't used. That does look very nice. And then finally we have Grateful. Oh, Grateful is stunning. I hope you guys can see the glitters on camera. It's a dark matte burgundy shade, but then it's got gold glitters in it. That's all the shades there. They swatch very, very well. They look very pigmented. The pressed pigments, I should probably have said actually, are this one, Major Chianti, then Play to Wine is also one, and then all of the bottom row are pressed pigments as well. Yeah, there's not much else to say. There we go. They're swatches. They're pretty. So it's time to jump into the tutorial. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So yeah, I will. Oh my god, he's like crying, I'm sorry! Alright, so I have, as always, primed my eyes with my P. Louise base, and this palette is making me want to do like more of a winged out look, I think. So we're going to start off with the shade Vinter down here. I'm taking that on a flat e.l.f. brush, and I forget that these are really, really powdery. And I'm just going to start, underneath. I'm following the shape of my lower lash line. I feel like this looked a bit, not dull, but kind of in the palette, but look at that, that's really, really pretty. And then I'm going to take Azo Weaver 231 with the same shade and start going in the crease. And when I say in the crease, for me, I always mean above, because I'm going to be doing a cut crease today. This shade is super pretty. Really, really like the way it looks. The outfit was a good idea. Maybe 2021 is the year where I finally start coordinating my outfits to my videos. It's slightly uneven here and there, but overall not too bad, I would say. I feel like it's gone on really smoothly, like I don't know how to explain it. The actual just application process of the shadow here feels very smooth and mostly even. Nothing, a little bit of blending in a minute won't resolve. And then I think I am just gonna fill in the wing shape as well, just going in diagonally. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful shade. Just a little bit of patchiness here. There we go, gone. Next up, I'm going to take a Morphe M506, and this time I'm going to go into Major Chianti. These are really, really powdery. I'm just using it to blend out the first shade. Don't know why I'm looking in that mirror. That's a really awkward angle. So far, I don't feel like I'm really noticing a big difference between those two shades. I mean, I'm blending upwards very slowly, but I don't feel like I'm really noticing a gradient. I've once again decided to do a winged out look and not really taken my P. Louise base that far out. Yeah, I don't really feel like I'm noticing much of a difference in terms of the colour on that one. I mean, I guess they blend out together okay, but the colours are maybe just a tad too similar. It's gotten a little bit messy on this side. I've kind of messed up my shape, but that's fine, that's fine. We'll sort it out later. Next, I'm going to take a Morphe M456, and I'm going to go into the shade Sip Sip. Now, I know this does have some shimmer to it, but I find that when you blend these out, you don't really see the glitter in them too much. So I'm going to use it as my final shade. I've done it again, haven't I? I'm so used to looking in that mirror. Sorry guys for the really awkward angles. Okay, so this is pretty pigmented. The light hand is definitely required. That is blending out pretty softly. Can't really see any shimmer. I also feel like I can't really see a gradient, like it all just kind of looks like one colour. I'm just going to come underneath as well, just so I don't really know what's happened with my shape. I'm going to soften this out a bit. Oh god, well this is very dramatic, isn't it? Not really what I was going for, like this is a tad extreme, but that's fine, we'll work with it, we'll work with it. Okay, what I am just going to do is go back in with some of Vinter, the first shade. I'm going to deepen it up. I just want to make sure that you can actually see a gradient, which I don't feel like you can right now. I feel like some of these shades are maybe a bit too similar, but they have blended in together really well, which I guess makes sense if the shades are similar, that, you know, they would work pretty well at blending out. And then some more of Major Chianti. And then no extra product, just back in with my M456, just to really soften out that blend. I think I'm going to take a bit more of Major Chianti and just bring it a bit further down, just to help balance it out. Okay, there we go, I think that's a bit better. And then I think I'm just going to take a clean M441, just to really soften everything in together. And then just a little bit more of Sip Sip. I've taken a clean M456 for this. And then softening it out underneath as well. Overall, they are very pretty colours. I do like the way it looks on the eye. I just felt like maybe they weren't the most different shades from each other in the world. But yeah, I mean, they've blended out together pretty well. I'm just going to go and cut my crease off camera quickly, and then we'll come back to fill it in. And we do have some very, very pretty lid shades in here, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I've gone for a very dramatic cut crease, seeing as this look is starting to look pretty dramatic overall. Oh, I don't know what colour to go for. What should we do? I'm thinking this lightest one, maybe in the middle. Yeah, let's maybe go with these three over here. I feel like they're a nice, logical thing to do. So I'm going to start off with the shade Blanc. It's really hard to read this writing, sorry guys. I'm going to start off with the shade Blanc up here, and I'm using a Morphe M124, and I'm going to pack it on at the front. Okay, so it takes a little bit of building up, but we've got it going. Just a nice metallic. I'm just taking it diagonally. And then on my left eye, I am just quickly going to spray my brush. Just want to see if it makes any sort of difference. Not really. So next to it, on another flat brush, I'm going to take Cast a Chateau. Okay, some of these names are cute. Cast a Chateau. Haha. I'm gonna pop that on. Ooh, okay, I really like that shade. So that's just going down the middle. In fact, it's pretty much going all the way. And then just taking a bit more of Blanc. Shade itself is pretty, but I do feel like they kind of lack something, like a bit of oomph, like they are just metallics. Okay, and then on my last flat brush, I'm going to go into Play to Wine and just pop that. Okay, actually that one's really nice. Ooh, that is a gorgeous colour. Okay. Okay, that one might be my favourite of the ones that I've tried so far in terms of the metallics, and I'm really sad that I've put it right on the outer portion. It's like a ruby colour. Very nice. Just bringing it into the wing. And then I'm going to take some more of Cast a Chateau. Okay, see, I really like this half of the cut crease, these two shades together, but the front half with Blanc, I just, I mean, it makes sense to, excuse me, what is going on? I mean, it is a shade that makes sense in the palette. I get why it's there, but it's not really doing what I want for this look. But the other two, my door's shaking, what's going on? The other two shades, these two, they're really nice. I'm gonna need to play some more with them at some point. Okay, so I've just quickly gone ahead and primed my lower lash line, and I have been saving this shade. Oh, I'm trying to decide the best thing to do. Yeah, I'm gonna start by going in with this one, Mull It Over, on a Cleans Over 231. Ooh, this one's powdery. And it's also very, very, very pretty. It's a lovely shade. And then I'm just going to take my Morphe M456 just to blend everything in. I know it dips a bit down here, but I will clean it up when I'm doing my foundation. But I just want to make sure it's nicely softened out. So next I'm going to take a Morphe M138, which is a small pencil brush. And I do want to try the shade Grateful down here. Oh, wow, that's really powdery. I'm going to pack it on on top. Okay, that is really, really pretty. This shade is like Christmas in a single eyeshadow because it's a nice red with some gold in it. This is a matte with a glitter in it again, which I'm normally not that much of a fan of, but it works. There's a lot of glitter in this one and it is gold, so it pops so much. It's really pretty. I really, really like that actually. I'm just gonna very softly blend just underneath. I don't want to disturb the glitter, but I do just want to make sure I haven't got a harsh line. Oh, okay. Okay, I really, really, really like that. Didn't expect to like it this much. Okay, you could definitely do a really pretty smoky burgundy eye and then have that shade on the lid. That's so, so, so pretty. I really, really like that. I look really weird on camera. I always think I look really weird when I've done a really elongated look and I have no foundation on. I think my favourite part of this look might now be the lower lash line because that shade is incredible, and I feel like the front of the cut crease is kind of letting it down. Like these shades, again, so pretty. That metallic cranberry, amazing, but it's that shade at the front. I think what would be nice about this palette as well is if one of these lighter shades was just a bit more than just a metallic. I just think there's something a little bit sad about the top lid compared to the lower lash line. I'm going to take the Revlon So Fierce Vinyl Eyeliner. The shade is Righteous Rum, and I'm going to pop that in the waterline. Oh, that is a good match. Okay, so my Pixie Liquid Fairy Lights in the shade Rose Gold is actually a pretty good shade for the front of the eye. So I'm just going to take some on the back of my hand. Just looking for ways to amp it up, really. Just going to take it on a flat brush. So I'm just going over the shade Blanc at the front. Ooh, okay, yes. That has done what we needed it to. Oh, I really, really like that. That's really shiny. Okay, I am so much happier with that. That is now doing exactly what I want it to. I was feeling a little bit underwhelmed until now, but that has just added so much brightness to the eye. Like, really made it pop. It's exactly what I wanted. The other thing I'm going to do is use my Super Beauty liner in Gold Digger, but I am going to do that off camera because I normally end up like down here and you guys can't see anything, and also because I find the Super formula a little bit hard to work with. It's a little bit stressful. In fact, I actually ended up throwing away my 2 other Super liners that I had because I just didn't like them anymore. So that is going to be it for the eyes on camera. It does look a bit weird right now. Like, I feel like the colour doesn't really suit me. Like, the shape is a bit much, but it normally goes better once I've got foundation on. You guys have already seen what it looks like anyway. So I'm just going to go and finish everything else off on camera, and then I'll come back. We'll have a chat about my final thoughts on this palette. Alright guys, here is the finished look once again. I really do like it now. Sometimes you really do just need to trust the process because I always gave up. It's very dramatic, but now that I've got foundation on, oh, and this highlighter, oh my god, I am using the Revolution Highlighter Reloaded in Dare to Divulge. I never wear this because it does give me a cast, so in real life, like, yeah, no, but for on here, oh, it's very pretty. Very, very, very pretty. So let's talk about my final thoughts on this palette. I do think it's very nice. I think I'm definitely warming up to Colourpop eyeshadows overall. My first experience was with the Colourpop Sailor Moon and I was a bit disappointed by that, but I feel like with every palette that I've tried since then, actually, I do enjoy it more and more. The first matte that I put on just went on like butter. Like, it was absolutely beautiful, and it is one of the shades that is a pressed pigment. At least I assume it is because of the fact it says it's not eye safe, and I don't think I've tried a pressed pigment by Colourpop before, and it just went on so beautifully. This matte shade didn't feel that different from it. Maybe I need to try it again. This one though, very, very pretty. I do think these 2 metallic shades in the middle, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I want to play with them some more. And this one, kind of like the big surprise for me, because normally I don't like these matte shades with glitter in them, but because it's a gold glitter, it's so, so, so pretty, and I want to play with it again. The one that lets me down really is this one, because I just think it's a bit boring. It's just a metallic and it's not much more than that. If it was just more interesting, basically, it wouldn't let the palette down, but at this stage I think it is kind of what it does for me. But the other shades that I've tried were really, really pretty. It's a palette that I'm glad to have in my collection. It's one that I want to play with some more, and it just does match the sleeves on this dress so well, and that just makes me really happy. So I think overall, if you have been debating this palette, if they are colours that you don't currently have in your collection, I think it is a nice one to go for. If you already have these types of burgundy shades in your collection, it might not be worth it, but I think what these small smaller monochromatic palettes are good for is bridging the gap in your collection, adding things that you don't already have. So if that is the case for you, you want to add these shades to your collection, I think it's worth it. I'm definitely going to be playing with it some more. So that wraps up today's video, guys. I hope, as always, that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this look, if you have this palette, what you think of it. Yeah, just let me know. I'm looking at my lips and I'm not sure. I tried to do an ombre, but I don't think it works. Let me change it up. Okay, yeah, there we go. It works a lot better like this. I actually finally picked up some of the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, which I'd never tried, so this is literally my first time trying them. I do like this colour. It's a very, very me pink. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, do make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It helps YouTube to know that you enjoyed the video and it should be shown to more people. Spread the love. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.